Hello,
Ooh,
hello, guys. We're back. We're back.
back. Ooh, yeah, kind of. I think I heard you twice.
Oh, you did?
Okay, you
I
good.
thought she said it twice.
Oh, I think I did say it twice.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
it,
back for
was so great.
episode.
She said it twice.
I know, back for episode 5, you guys. And did we say it? We said it last week, right? That the last 2 were going to really kick it into high gear, and this one really brought the intensity. So much to kind of unpack in this episode, but I'm like, okay, I'm still debating how we're going to get this all still down in this last episode. But yeah, this one was really, really. Whew, what did you guys think overall before we go into it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that
Yeah.
exactly. I think David
It
gave a
was
great visual to how I
crazy.
feel.
There were some, you think that you kind of know where it's going to go, right? But then you get hit with something where you're like, oh, I knew that. Whoa. And
Yes.
there were a couple of points where I was like, I had some suspicions and some predictions going on this season, and they came true
Yes.
Ooh, yeah,
in episode 5. So yeah, I can't wait to unpack that. But before we do, I finished rewatching season 1.
Oh, yay.
And I just want to throw something out there because we still don't know if there's a correlation with the spiral symbol, right?
Mhm.
But we do have an answer as to kind of what it means
Yes.
with 5, and so we're going to talk about that later. But
Mhm.
in season 1, I just want to say that Matthew McConaughey's character does go to Alaska
Mhm.
for 8 years.
Mm.
Oh my God, I'm so tired of it.
And he doesn't let in what that's about. Like he's just like going off. But was he trying to find something about that symbol,
Mm.
or did he actually make that symbol?
Oh wow.
Is this from him?
Ooh.
So that's just kind of something to put in the back of your mind for a little bit as we get through this one, and then we get to the next and last episode of the season.
Oh yes.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Okay, you guys. So we're gonna jump right into it. So, going to start us off with our opening scene. So this episode starts at the cremation scene. So of Julia, we see the whole process start to finish, and we have Navarro picking up Julia. I thought this was a powerful scene to start with. What do you guys? I'll throw it to you. What was your take? I'll start with you, David.
So yes, this is a powerful scene. Number one, in the fact that Evangeline was not supposed to be there. So the fact that the person doing the cremation knew her,
Yeah.
allowed her to be a part of it. Whether that's a part of their culture, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was impactful for Evangeline to be with her sister during this point.
Mm-hmm.
And then just how she treats the urn afterwards.
Oh yeah, like hugging it.
It's like her sister is still there, so it's protect with the jacket and keep her warm.
Yeah, hugging it.
Take her out to a nice spot, which we're going to talk about because Rose is back, so we're going to talk about that. But I thought it was very impactful for Evangeline and important for her to be with Julia through this process because she wasn't there when she died.
Yeah, that's what I took away for it too. Yeah, since she wasn't there in her final moments, really making sure through this process that she was a part of it. What about you, Kira?
Oh yeah, no, I agree with what both of you shared. I think it was a way for her to pay respect and to honor her in life, in death, in a way perhaps she wasn't able to fully in life. And I think that she also said a lot without saying anything, bearing witness to the entire procedure, if you will. I don't know if procedure is the right word, but overall cremation process. But it was very touching. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and David, you mentioned too. I wasn't sure as well if cremation was a part of their culture, but I think at the end she kind of fulfilled, I think, something that Julia maybe wanted, and that could be why
some sort of requirement. I don't know if it's to do with the cremation, but I do know that in a lot of indigenous culture that a family member must be present at the burial or during cremation or something like that. So I'm wondering if there's something there, even though they were cremated through quote unquote normal means, that as a family member to be there is kind of important in their culture. I don't know if that's exactly true of this tribe, but I do know of other indigenous tribes that have that as part of their culture.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I thought it was a powerful thing to start off with. Definitely. Okay, I'm gonna keep us going. The next scene we see, we talked about him last week. We weren't sure if he was going to be coherent or not. But after he is, we have him detoxing now. He does seem coherent. I was concerned, as we all were.
Going through withdrawals.
Yeah, and he's detoxing at the lighthouse, so we're back at the lighthouse. And I took some notes on this one just because I didn't want to miss kind of what was being said in the scene. But we know Otis is detoxing. Liz Danvers is going to see him to kind of figure out how to get in this cave. We know Otis is the one who mapped this cave, and she wants to know what causes his injuries. So he kind of described it as there was a cave in, and the men were trapped in the ice, and they went out for help, and there was a blizzard, and he just wakes up. Well, I think he heard howling and screaming, and then he just wakes up in the hospital, is what he stated, with these injuries. So it really couldn't give an overview of what really happened, just kind of the series of events, and then him just waking up unaware of what happened. And I think he also noted that the caves, the interest was at a cave called Bear Creek, which he mapped. And Danvers wants him to go help him show the cave, but he's not going to do it, we know, unless he has heroin, which is ironic because he's detoxing, but is wanting, his fix. What are you guys' thought on this scene?
Okay. I'll share a couple of things. And so I am glad that we did meet Otis in a coherent state, if you will, even though he's actively going through detox withdrawal symptoms. I think this, tell me if I'm wrong, didn't he call it the night country? Or did he recall, I don't know if this was the scene where he said, Danvers let him know that he called it the night country, or that you're taken by the night country. I don't remember.
What he was talking about. He was like he completely forgot about that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yes. So I think there's a huge indicator with regards to, the night country doesn't necessarily mean a specific thing. Maybe it's just the overall place. I was kind of holding that, just thinking in terms how that comes into play. But again, I think it's interesting because he is the only one that knows how to maneuver these cave systems safely. But in this scene, I already felt like something was going to happen to him, just because he was the only one that knew how to navigate these caves.
Yeah. And I think, just to say, I think he mentioned too that Clark came to visit him, right? Yeah. And mentioned something about that we saw that she's awake again coming up.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, David?
Something while he was detoxing, he doesn't remember saying. So everything he said in the dredge where they found him, he totally forgot when he was coming down off of that high. And it was interesting because I thought he just plumb lost his mind.
I did too.
But when it's he's recovering, and it was okay, he's got to be on heroin. That's got to be the thing. And he might be detoxing, but it's not by his choice. He wants to go back. He wants his heroin. And Danvers I need you to take me up there. And he's well, if you want me to do that, then you're going to have to give me some of that stuff. So, you know what you have to do. And Danvers I can't do that. And I instantly was oh no, she's going to totally do it.
I did.
I knew it. Yeah.
She's going to run out of options because stuff's going to happen. They're taking away this case from her. So she wants the answers. She's going to pull something out of the evidence locker and go and give it to him. And, it was interesting how that all kind of played out.
Right.
But yeah, no, I knew as soon as that discussion was happening that, oh no, Danvers was going to slip him something on the low.
Oh yeah. And again, like we said, I think sometimes we said she skirts kind of that edge of right and wrong. And I kind of predicted that too. She's going to have to give him what he wants to kind of get what she needs.
Oh yeah. And I think it's a skirting on the right, even though it's wrong because of the greater good, if you will. I don't think I feel as though Danvers wouldn't intentionally, I could be wrong, do something wrong without it having some sense of purpose. Like I almost feel as though it has to be a valid rationale of why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we have some people in the comments. I think we have Cody.
What's up, Cody?
Everyone? Don't forget to roundhouse kick that like button. Thank you, Cody. Oh yeah, and I wanted to read Corey's because I saw his message earlier. He says, "Sorry, I'm not going to be able to join live tonight, but I'll be catching the replay. Hope you have a fun live stream." Thank you. Yep, we know it's Valentine's Day, everyone, so no worries.
We totally understand. Yeah, I had my Valentine's Day yesterday. So
awesome.
So yeah, my wife and I had our Valentine's Day. So it was
very nice.
It was fun. We like to do it off of the 14th because the 14th is super busy. No matter where you go. So yeah, so we went out to dinner last night, and it was a great time. And then we went to lunch today.
Nice.
Out of the blue, she goes, "Hey, let's go to lunch." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So we went to lunch, and I bought her some roses, and it was fun. So
nice. Did you guys watch John Wick?
No, that was actually we didn't watch any movies. It was interesting because we were like, we had 2 that we watched last week, and then we're watching 2 next week because we have a mystery movie next week, and then we're going to watch Madam Web. But we decided not to watch any movies this week. Except for, of course, what I have to watch for my show.
Right.
Okay.
Nothing in the theater this week.
I know, not really. I do want to see that Lisa Frankenstein though. I heard that was pretty
I did see that.
Oh yeah, you said it was good too. Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun. It was cute. It was silly. It had its stupid parts, but yeah, it was like my buddy Nate, for Netflix reviews, he actually said that he's like, that'll be probably like a cult hit in about 20 years where people will just like an Edward Scissorhands type thing.
Body probably get that cult class following later on. Yeah. Cody said, I have not watched this season yet, but I have them on my DVRs. They're only going to be 6 episodes this season. Yeah, only 6. And I'm not that last episode is gonna have to pack a punch because you got a lot to wrap up. But yeah, only 6.
I'm okay with 6. I feel like sometimes we can get into the habit of doing too many unnecessary episodes. I'm okay with 6, even 4, if they can wrap it up. Not necessarily wrap it up. Everything doesn't need to be decided, but in a cohesive way.
At least answer the questions. Get the the main issue. Get some closure there, and then leave something open. So like if they want to come back and hit that again, that'd be fun. There's a detective series. They did 4 episodes, and it's Stanley Tucci. It's on Netflix right now. And
I think I know what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name of it, but he's like an American version of Sherlock Holmes. Only he murders his wife, and he's in prison.
Oh, what?
Maybe you didn't see it, but with the priest, the actor who plays the priest, he was in Broadchurch, but he's a vicar, like a priest.
Yeah. I know what you talk about. Yep.
I have seen
that. Was very good.
Yeah, no, I have seen that. But yeah, it was 4 episodes, came to a conclusion. It was perfect. I was like, that was good. With True Detective, though, they've normally been like 8. Season 1 in particular was 8 episodes. So the way that they did this, and I'm wondering if it has to do with the writer's strike, that they've cut this to 6, and they've basically crammed everything into these last 2 episodes.
I wondered about that. Okay,
but I'm looking for episode 6 to be an hour and a half.
Yeah, definitely can be an hour. I don't know.
I don't know if they can answer the rest of the questions that we have in an hour.
No, I don't think so.
Unless everything just falls down in the ice rink, everything just lands in the ice rink at the same time.
I know. Cody said, I'm watching Dream Lover tonight as a first time watch.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. And that's with
James
Spader. I know James Spader. Okay. Awesome. I'll have to add that to my watch. I haven't seen that. I've never heard of that. All right, you guys. So I'm picking back up. Our next scene, it was a short scene, but I still wanted to throw it in. We have Kayla kicks out Pryor. So I kind of predicted that was going to occur. I think the buildup was there. So she kind of says, I'm done. you gotta leave. Really feeling bad for Pryor, but I mean, it was expected to me because I kind of felt that was coming. What are you guys' thoughts? What do you think, Dave? I'll go with you.
No, the writing was on the wall. I predicted this too. I was like, no, she is gonna boot him out. You know, whether Pryor did something with Danvers or not, she still kind of suspects it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, she absolutely loves him. She doesn't want to kick him out, but the way that he's behaving with Liz and not really paying much attention to her or the baby, it's like she just packed his bag and was like, here you go, boom.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got to fight. He's got to like, you know, he's got to apologize and then keep apologizing until she takes him back.
Yeah. Yeah. What are your thoughts, Kira?
Agreed. Oh no, I agree with what David said. I think though, you know, kind of even the way that Kayla explains it, he was a different person prior. He was a different person prior. I'm kind of holding that you have to kind of assume what it looked like maybe before he became a cop, or is she speaking specifically to him being a cop now under Danvers, Liz specifically? So I think it would be up to him to like determine how much of himself he gives to this job, because I don't foresee necessarily him stepping away from the work. He would just have to kind of change maybe how receptive and open available he is with regards to Liz. I think if he can balance it, there's hope for them. I don't think they're done by any means.
Yeah, no, I just agree. I agree with both of your assessments, and that he really has to do some work to get back in her good graces. I think he's going to have to prove it. And maybe when the case is solved or dies down, we'll have a chance to do that. You know, really is just taking 100% of everyone's manpower right now. But yeah, I think I see them getting back together. I just think it's kind of a break, taking some space.
And I will note, I don't know if I forget if this is in my breakdown, but I do feel like there is a scene where, you know, Kayla and Liz connect in this episode. I don't think there's hatred there from Kayla with regards to Liz by any means. There's probably resentment, but I feel like in those moments you can tell like this is not someone that she has disdain for.
Oh no, I don't get that. I don't even think well, you guys let me know. I'm just plugging up my computer. I don't think Kayla has serious disdain for Liz. Do you guys think? I just think
no. I think it's resentment. She probably resents that like she has this relationship with her husband that's clearly becoming more of a priority than her and the family, and it's a resentment maybe from taking him away overall. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not going to pull up a clip for this one, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the next scene. It was a brief one. We saw the car ride. So we have Liz leaving from Otis. Navarro's waiting in the car. They're on their way to the cave. We see Julia is kind of strapped in. Again, David kind of, like you said, taking care of her. The urn is kind of strapped in the back seat, you know, safely.
Safely on the ride along. Yeah, that's fine.
Safely tucked away. But I thought it was an interesting little quick scene in terms of, Dan was checking in with Navarro to say, are you okay? Do you want to talk about it? So it was really, really quick, but that was just my takeaway. Just kind of her checking in again, just making sure everything was okay with everything going on. We still have Julia in the background. You guys, any thoughts on that or?
No, not really. That's
it was really quick.
You kind of summed it all up, Mika, and just like it's basically exactly what it was. It was just like hey, you good? And then Evangeline took a look at Julia.
Yeah.
Right there, and was like, yeah, I think we're good.
Mm-hmm.
But really, she's not. She's still kind of unraveling a little bit. Hopefully she gets to knit that sweater back up before we really get into episode 6. But in fact, where they're driving to, she kind of unloads a little bit once they get there.
Oh yeah. All right, you guys. So that brings us to the cave. Okay, so we arrived at the cave, and what do we see? It's imploded, caved in. We don't know who done it, but someone is obviously trying to stop them from discovering what's going on. And David, like you said, we have that explosion with Navarro, who's like, of course, this would happen, because
yeah, she's just like, she just loses it right there, and just a little bit, but it's like, she's just like I can't get it, and it's kind of like she can't win, right? She, she loses Julia, she gets the crap beat out of her. She's like, she thinks there's finally something that she can see the light at the end of the tunnel with, and then it's blocked. Literally, the tunnel is blocked, and she just like, F this, and if she could, she'd have picked up snowballs and just started throwing snowballs. I was picturing her just like throwing rocks like in Forrest Gump. But because sometimes there just aren't enough rocks. And Liz is like, I kind of expected this. It looked like, Liz was like, I kind of figured. But I mean, even Otis was like, there was a cave in and there's unstable stuff.
Yeah.
But when they got here, it wasn't just that it was caved in. It was detonated. They exploded. You can tell this was an explosion. This was deliberate. This was not an accidental cave in. So there's definitely something being covered up. But yeah, I think, Navarro's mad because she didn't get what she wanted. And Liz, she's exactly what she expected. So, this is where, Liz is the calm one in this situation, which is, it's actually kind of scary that Liz is the calm one.
I know they kind of balance each other off, who's going to be calm, who's going to go off.
Whoever's flying off the handle, the other one's got to be the cool one.
Role reversals.
Yeah.
So
you can tell here Liz is the calm one because she didn't have sex with anyone in this scene. So,
Karen, your thoughts?
Oh no, it was actually very predictable for me. So I knew that they were going to be met with some type of roadblock. It would have just been too easy for them to be able to access the cave, and just go right. Too easy. So of course, just seeing it just conveyed oh my gosh, of course this was going to be the outcome. And again, I agree. Liz, for the most part, probably expected it. It was not going to be easy. I'm almost shocked though. That Navarro didn't think this would be the potential outcome. But I think that her reaction just kind of emphasizes the frustration with this case. There's been roadblock after roadblock, barrier after barrier put in their way.
Yeah. Or cave in after cave in. Yeah. But yeah, that's exactly. I mean, that was par for the course. You totally hit the nail on the head, Kira, because it was, that I think we all knew it was that is not going to be there, but you have to go check. Liz is like, we have to look.
Yes.
I know we're not going to be able to get this, but the little smidge of me was like, you know what? There's only one more episode about out, left. Yep. So maybe there would be something here.
Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
But that something comes later.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
Which was really interesting concerning the mine.
Oh yes. Okay, and we have let me see. I just want to say
we have and
Holland Oaks. I miss Holland. Hi, Holland.
Good to see you, man.
Yep. And then we have Caveman.
Speaking of beautiful people, there's Caveman.
Yeah. He said, please hit that like button for these beautiful people. Thank you. And then Caveman said there's an almost unbelievable amount of stuff they are going to have to fully unwrap everything and put it in a tidy bowl. Yeah. We just said that.
Yeah.
And then we got Miss Caveman. Hi guys. Thanks for joining. Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Happy Valentine's Day.
To you both. Awesome. Okay, so the next scene, you guys, we see is the protest scene starting, right? Mm-hmm. So we have Leah getting ready to do the protest, and it was two scenes with this, and I kind of loved how they did a back and forth because we see Hank at home with the guitar, right, singing a song, and I copied the lyrics down. I wanted to read those lyrics to you guys. Also, while you have the protests going on, and then we also see Pryor, who's sitting outside Hank's house because he has to find a place to live. Well, stay. Yeah. So I wanted to read do you guys want me to read the lyrics? I thought they were interesting while the protest was going. And what I found out was the actor who plays Hank. This is an original song by him that he wrote specifically for the scene. But it says, "There is no love, none lost, none found. There is no God, no hallowed ground. You are forever bound to lose. So what's the use? There is no king, he won't be crowned. There is no star, she's falling down. You are forever bound to lose. There is no place to get unwound. You will not sing. You lost your sound. You are forever bound to lose. So what's the use?" Yeah, I thought that was really, really interesting. The lyrics, kind of really hopeless, finding yourself in a hopeless situation, and while the protest is going. So while he's singing the protest, they're stating, "We were here before, going to stay when you're gone." I just thought that was interesting, the backdrop between what they were chanting at the protest and the lyrics of the song, kind of finding yourself in a hopeless situation. You guys have any thoughts on that?
Oh yeah. One thing I kind of thought about with the song too is I think this series has kind of pitted the characters questioning in terms of like the spirituality, faith, and then also God's what's the word I'm looking for? If God is actually truly real, like is he here? And I think we see each character kind of take on a different stance with it. So that's one thing that I think the song kind of emphasized. And then for me specifically with the protest, even just the losing, I think sometimes that you can be trying to fight for the right things and it's a just cause, but sometimes you don't win, especially when you're going up against very powerful systems and powerful people. Mm-hmm. And so it's almost just like, what's the point? What's the purpose to me? So I think the song was kind of layered with both things there for me.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah. Any thoughts, David?
Well, yeah, it was one of the things that really stuck out with me is that Hank is singing the song, and Pete shows up because he needs a place to stay. Mm-hmm. And rather than knock on the door and interrupt his song, he sits outside the window and listens. Mm-hmm. And there was a point that he made earlier was like, I knew my dad played with the band, but I haven't heard him play.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
So this was the first time he'd heard his dad play ever. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you could see kind of Pete's guard go down a little bit. Mm-hmm. Where he's like, wow, my dad's he's really hurting. Mm-hmm. And on the surface, you think that Hank is hurting because of, the Russian girl who stole all his money.
Yeah.
But there's definitely something deeper there, something else going on, which of course we get later on in the show. Mm-hmm. But I like how the camera, how the cinematography here works the parallels between the two things, and they've done it a couple times during this season.
Right. Yeah.
Where like with the dead body, and then with the meat sickle, and then there was like a few other places where they kept going back and forth doing two things at the same time, but the two things are parallel. Right. There's definitely similarities. Like mm-hmm. all thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs. So you're like, okay, right. Some of these are exactly the same. Like Hank's going through the exact same thing that Leah's going through. Yeah. Only on a different level.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Well, and then likewise what Evangeline is going through. Mm-hmm. Having to break up the protest and finding out, asking what side she's on. And then Pete going to see his dad, but stopping and then calling him because he didn't want to embarrass his dad. Saying, hey, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Can I stay at your place?
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
So there's really some nuance here with both of those scenes that's really interesting in the growth, particularly of Leah and Pete.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Caveman said some of the music is pretty great. The last song in the episode is great, but Shazam could not find it.
If you have Spotify, you can actually search the series soundtrack.
Yeah, they have this. Yep, they have the soundtrack for the series. Search it, Spotify, True Detective, Night Country, and they'll do all the music from the season, which is pretty cool. So it should be on there. Yeah.
Oh, one thing that I wanted to kind of add, kind of adds to kind of what David was saying. I'm very glad. Of course, we will get to that point later, but I am glad that Pryor had that opportunity to see his father, hear his father, and have that. I don't know if you say like that moment because it wasn't shared, but I almost feel like that was a great way for him to unearth like some type of humanity with his father. Like it told him a lot, even though they didn't have any conversation about it.
Yeah, I agree. And then also, you guys, with this protest scene, we talk about Navarro arriving. What do you guys?
Oh, it broke up there.
That was
Ooh, you sound like a robot.
kind of
Oh my gosh, you sounded like a robot.
Well.
Oh yeah, we got nothing. David, did you get anything of what you said?
Navarro arriving with the state troopers.
Oh, Mika, we got nothing of what you said. You like
the whole beginning of that was like gone.
Oh,
it
was,
you guys.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like it was funny. You sounded like a robot.
What'd you guys did? And we were like, well,
it's you tonight. I know I was last week.
It's me tonight, Kira. Yep.
Well, I'm gonna just ask David directly. What did you think, David, about Navarro arriving and being on scene?
Man, this was torture for Navarro, because on the one hand she's got a job to do, and as a trooper, it's a trooper's responsibility to break up these things. On the other side of the coin, it's her people. And she believes in what they're fighting for. So her heart isn't in it. Mm-hmm. She comes out and she's like, okay, guys, come on. She's trying to break it up, but you can tell she's given like 60%. She's not really
right.
She's not really throwing an effort out to it until Leah hits her with the clop of crap on their helmet.
Yeah.
And she turns around and she's like, really? And but when the other trooper attacks Leah, that's when Navarro goes full mama bear and like beats the trooper's butt, pulls Leah out of there. So that was what I think that was what made up her mind. What am I doing on this side of the fence? I need to be, and it wasn't protecting her people, it was protecting Leah.
Right. Yep. Yeah, because she actually attacked another trooper. Well, again, that trooper was rogue in terms of just the use of force. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, smacked her across the head with the baton, and then was getting ready to like just thrash her. And Navarro's like, no, and she beat the crap out of that guy. And rightfully so. I think that she did exactly right. He was using excessive force.
Very much.
And what did you guys?
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say, and also, what about you guys? Her seeing Annie, because she saw Annie in the protest.
Right, there was a little Annie K there, and that was also that's another thing I wanted to talk about. And that's where it was like Annie was there to tell her which side of the fence she was actually on.
Yeah, she fought for that. That was her fight. If you
right.
know.
Yeah, and then I think it was interesting too. We saw Annie, and then kind of flashing to Leah, and kind of doing the same kind of activism. And also Liz has said that too. Leah is reminding her of kind of Annie K, and doing the same type of activism. Caveman said, just FYI, if no one recognizes the dad. Oh, John Hawkes. Yep, great actor. Was also great in Deadwood with Timothy Oliphant. I never saw Deadwood.
But I've heard great things about it.
Yeah, I heard great things about that show. Okay, you guys.
And I should note with the scene too, so we don't forget. This was a turning point for Leah too. Her girlfriend kind of just took off.
Oh, Sherry, yeah.
It was kind of one of those things where, like, I do understand. I'm trying to hold the caseworker in me, that fight, freeze response. But I said, oh wow, she really took off and left her just out there.
She literally looked at Leah and then turned and dipped. It wasn't like she just ran and like was oblivious.
She was gone.
No, she was firmly there, ready to just throw Leah under the bus and leave.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I'm by your side, or she wasn't like, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna run, or wasn't Leah like telling her to run or anything like that. She was just like, Nope.
I'm
You're
out.
not worth it.
This was not
You're
what I
not worth
thought.
it.
Too much to fight.
Yeah, you're not worth it to me. And that's when Leah was like, "Oh man, f this." You know? So yeah, no, that's a very important point, and one that you kind of get the gist of Leah's feelings when she and Navarro talk later.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, so we see kind of when we get back to the I don't have a clip for that, but when we get back to the precinct, we saw Navarro calling Danvers to probably telling her about the situation with Leah, and Leah thinks she's going to be going home, but she finds out in talking to Navarro, who's kind of pissed that she's being there, that she was out there to begin with, and it's kind of siding with Liz because she's putting herself in a pretty dangerous situation of what's going on. But Liz wants her booked. She wants her to kind of think about what she's done, and she's kind of giving her some tough consequences for her actions. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I was with Liz with this situation because it was pretty serious, and she didn't get herself injured, but she could have got really, really hurt in that scenario. Your thoughts?
And be mindful. I think there is this piece to Leah that has a heavy reliance on Liz being in the position that she's in. Like, we've seen the series with Leah doing things understandably within reason for a just cause, but going about it completely the wrong way. And there's only so much Liz can do with regards to kind of letting all of that go under the rug. So I feel like, she probably mostly wouldn't have got her booked with a record, but I think I could see her having her stay in there for a long duration. And I think that was warranted, honestly. Oh, is that the pup?
Yeah, that's my pup. I can't pick him up anymore. He's so big.
Oh, such a cutie patootie.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
What kind of dog is he, David?
He's a pit bull.
Oh, pit
He's a
bull.
pit bull. Yeah.
He's so cute.
Yeah, he's adorable.
Oh my God.
He's so friendly. He just loves people.
Oh my God, I love it. Look how happy. He's so happy.
Yeah. He's happy. He gets to be inside now. It's like, oh no, it's almost nighttime. I get to be inside.
Oh, I love it. Awesome. Nice and plush, David, and snuggled.
Bed. We'll get snuggles later. Go to bed.
Oh, snuggles. Oh my God, love the fur baby.
Yeah, he wants me to be on the couch so he can lay next to me.
I love it. Oh my God, don't you wish you could stay like that all day? I swear.
I know. Yeah. They have the best life, pets.
Very plush.
I know.
I spoil him.
We love him.
I spoil him.
You spoil him? Oh yes.
I spoil him. Oh, I spoil him so much.
Any thoughts, David, for you on her booking Leah?
No, yeah, I'm go Liz on this one because and this is something that I remember from when I was a teenager, is that I took my mom for granted, or I just expected her to get me out of situations, and I expected her to pay for stuff, and I expected her to do this, and she set me straight. So, and I think that's what Leah's doing. Leah's like expecting Liz to just go to bat for her and take care of all this, and Liz is like, you know what, I'm not doing that anymore. Book her, put her in. Let's do a scared straight thing and see if that helps. But also, I think she's already had a confrontation with the mine lady.
Yeah.
On this, where she wanted her arrested. So I think that's another thing, is she's getting ahead of it.
Oh, yep.
Exactly.
And saying, look, I arrested my stepdaughter. We talked about this before. So now she's, now she is arrested. She's booked. She's in a cell. So you can't tell me that I'm not doing my job.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, David, that's a good point.
Caveman said, anyone know why every time Navarro passes out, she wakes up in daylight abandoned camp setting? Oh, in a daylight abandoned camp setting.
I was trying to wonder if because I know I don't forget if it was the first episode or the second episode, Navarro was in the military. So
yeah, she was in Afghanistan or something.
Yeah, right, David. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out if she's waking up. It almost looks like desert-like to me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely desert-like, and I think you hit it. I think she's remembering that. That's what's taking her into that vision quest, because she's having these visions.
Okay,
and that's where Holden is coming up to try to get her to protect his mom. So
oh yes, okay, yes, agreed, David.
because of her gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And Cal says double mint and Davy Richards. Nice.
Oh.
Hey,
Love
Cal.
it.
And Cal says, happy Valentine's to all the moms, wives, and sisters. You are appreciated. Oh, thank you.
Love it. Love it.
We appreciate it. Okay, you guys. So the next clip, this was very, very interesting. We're back at the station. And what do we find out about? We found out some interesting news, right? In terms of, well, first Pryor lets Liz know that Kayla kicked him out of the house. and this was a little bit humorous too, especially when Liz walks away. But she says, "Well, you can kind of stay with me." And before he even said, I was like, "No," because
Like you say in my place, I think you got the banner wrong though. Is that right?
Oh wait, no, I did.
I just noticed that. Oh yeah, thank you.
There you go.
Oh wait, is that it?
I don't think that's it either.
Yeah, because this is going to be the connection.
This is where they're linking the to the Silver Sky Mine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no, this is really gonna play right into Kayla's fear. Oh yeah, so no, it's okay. I'm staying with Mrs. Robinson. It's fine.
Mrs.
But
Robinson.
no.
Literally, that would lead right to divorce. Where you stay?
Yeah, that would lead right to court. Yeah.
Oh yes. So after they kind of talk about that, we know Pryor, he's great with doing some digging and some investigations, and he's found for Liz that there's this LLC who is in partners with Silver Sky Mining, and they have a connection to Salal, which we find out that the mining funds Salal. And I think they did in let me know if I'm correct, you guys. In response to them funding Salal kind of helps with their pollution reports.
Yeah.
Am I saying that correctly?
You're doing this because their job is to do the pollution numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And she believes that Silver Sky Mining is funding the Salal project in order to fudge those numbers.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought. Yeah, that's literally implied that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And did
I'll be back in just a second. I got to turn my lights on.
Oh, really?
Let me try to get my other clips up too. It's hard for me to kind of do all this.
Oh yeah, I'll try to kind of help you organize it the next week.
Oh, that's better. I'm like, it's getting dark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And what did you guys? I always thought too that the mine was connected in some way to what was going on. Did you guys think so?
I thought so because again, it was two separate cases really. So you had Annie K who was protesting the mines, and then you had the incident with the Salal researchers. So I felt that they were connected already. You just didn't really know the linkage until like now.
The two cases, yeah, of course.
Right.
I knew the two cases were linked,
mm-hmm.
But when I know maybe it was like subconsciously I was thinking Salal and the mine were connected somehow, but I didn't think that until they fully went, oh, hey, now we know they're absolutely linked. Right. And then we're like, oh, crap. So now I'm thinking, okay, is the mine trying to silence all these people?
Mm-hmm.
Like Annie K and now the Salal workers.
Right.
And then you get more stuff later on with even other characters that the mine's trying to, let's just say, neutralize.
Oh yes. And how they trying to hide it. Like it took a lot of through this LLC, they kind of have a hidden.
Yeah, there's layers and layers of this leading to the Silver Sky. It wasn't like, oh, Salal and Silver Sky. They had to do like a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon,
right?
For Pete to find out, to trace it all the way back to where the source is. Mm-hmm. So that means they're hiding it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, you guys. And then the next scene I put in, even though it was a little quick scene. Am I frozen? I'm not frozen, am I?
Oh yeah, you are. It's so funny. A little bit, I feel. Oh no, there you go.
Oh, you guys are staring at me like, am I frozen?
Oh no, it's funny sometimes.
Okay, you guys, and that's this is a line I took from this clip, but we have I love the relationship between Praya and Leah. I just think that's such a great relationship. He goes to visit her. She kind of gets on him because she's holding Kayla's back, kind of upset with him for not being home and having to watch Kayla cry, and it's kind of telling Praya, get it together. You have a good thing right now at home, and not to let Liz ruin it, not to let this job ruin it. And I love that she brought up that story, another story again of what made Kayla fall in love with Praya. Going back to a basketball game where she saw him, and he was a star basketball player, and the town kind of got on him because he missed a shot, and he let a player, I think the player's name was Huey Larson, he let him get the shot because his dad had a stroke, and kind of just referring to kind of how Pete is such a great guy, not to lose that. And the line I took away from that was, she's not good with people she cares about. I thought that was mentioned before in the show. I thought I heard that before, but I couldn't remember where it was in regard in reference to Liz. But I just thought this was a little cute scene. I like their relationship. Any thoughts on that one, you guys?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it does show the depth of their relationship. I think that clearly Leah has a strong rapport with Pryor, and of course, probably an even deeper relationship with Kayla, just based off of their roots and being linked regards there. The one thing that stood out to me about this statement is they both know that Liz cares about them. So it's not that she does not have genuine care or love for both of them. She just doesn't know how to treat people now whom she cares about. So I kind of held that to say there's hope for Liz still. Don't lose yourself and lose something that's really good for you, your family. Trying to have something with a person who may not be capable to be what you want them to be. But that doesn't mean they don't care at all. This is kind of what I looked at. I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of a struggle there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep, David, any thoughts for you or?
No, I agree with that. The the discussion there, Leah is kind of like, hey, don't mess up. Just you need to, and in the midst of this, she's in jail.
Oh yeah.
She's in jail. And Pryor's like, gives her a soda. She goes, I don't like that. And he goes, well, there wasn't anything else, so deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a brother sister thing, right? I got like an impression that they grew up together, so they've known each other forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course they're sharing the chips, and they're talking, and she's like, this is where I was like, okay. Leah was like, Kayla really loves you, and she cried all last night, and this and that. That's just, so don't muck it up. And yeah, I get the impression they both know that Liz cares about them, but that Liz is just she's a sociopath with people she cares about. It's just I care about you, so you have to serve a purpose to me, is basically what Liz's philosophy is. And when you no longer serve a purpose, I no longer want to deal with you.
Yeah, don't know how to deal with you. Yeah,
I don't know what to do. If you can't do anything for me, this is why she has such a problem with Liz, because Liz does not, she doesn't have a purpose for Leah. Leah does not solve anything for her. And she can't just be her mother. And that's basically kind of reminds me of my stepmother, same way. Where if you don't serve a purpose, then she's really not interested. But may she rest. My stepmother passed away a year ago. But same type of thing. It was like, if you're here and you serve a purpose, I love you. But if you don't serve a purpose, then I don't need to talk to you.
Yeah. I
definitely feel the way Liz is. Pryor serves a purpose, so she is calling him all the time. She's like that girlfriend that won't go away. But with Leah, she doesn't know what to do because there's nothing in common.
And there's no manual. Yeah, because she just doesn't know how to have those normal day-to-day interactions with people.
Interpersonal skills, basically.
Yeah, those interpersonal skills. But again, too, is interesting too when you do see those moments of she has great empathy though for someone who has struggles with interpersonal skills. She has great empathy and great awareness in situations, which I found interesting. Caveman
totally
said,
craps the bed on certain things where you're just like, what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Caveman said it would be appropriate for you to freeze, especially with the show setting. LOL, sorry for that. I love this too much.
I know exactly, David.
Yeah, I know. I say you have to with this show.
Oh, yeah, so funny.
Yeah, that's
we
funny.
we need to all have a blue background and
oh yes, yes.
And I know on Instagram you can have that effect where it looks like it's snowing.
Oh, really?
Oh, I love that.
That would be really cool if we could do something like that.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
David
gonna have to show us how to do that because David, our skills are so bare minimum.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Well, when we did the Valentine's Day high five with the romance movies with Rich and I, and then I had the hearts moving.
Oh yes, I love the background
and doing all that. It was funny. But
yeah, I loved how you had that in the background. Yeah, you'll have to show us how to do that.
Yeah, you can do video backgrounds. You can do motion backgrounds and have them like do stuff. So as long as it's less than a minute long, and I think under 200 megabytes. So
okay. Yeah, we'll have to do like a tutorial.
So yeah, when we do our next series, I might send you a background, and we'll do some stuff so you guys can have that.
Okay, cool. All right, you guys. So the next scene, we have the meeting at the Silver Sky Biden. So we know. Yeah. Okay, this was great. So Liz was in her office and she gets a call from Connolly to say, "I need you up here at Silver Sky Mining right away." Right. And taking it back. I was kind of taking it back too. I was kind of like, Liz, like, what is going on? When she got there, at first I was really upset because to me it was a little too much involvement from Kate, from my opinion, in terms of the questions she was asking. Like really like another cop. And I was kind of upset with Liz a little bit too, because she was giving her information I didn't think she needed to give Kate.
Well, I think she did though.
No, she did, but I was upset by that because you get what I'm saying? She handed over the files of kind of because first of all, Kate is scolding her for being Navarro and her being on the property. There was a video camera showing them at the cave-in. So yep. Oh, go ahead, David. What you say?
Oh yeah, he's still there. Yeah. So this is where the lead about the entrance to the cave, even though it was caved in or exploded, they still had a camera on it.
Oh yeah.
And so they had current footage. So when Liz saw that, I don't know, it seemed like she thought she was busted, but at the same time, it was like, I think that's like, okay, now I know something's going on that's linked to the mine. Otherwise, why do you have a camera still on the entrance? Even though there's no way you can get in there. And then my thing that I did not like was Liz automatically accused Connolly of having sex with Kate.
Wait, did I miss that?
Yeah, because it's like, oh, so you're like you're doing her now, or do you want to take some time to slap her butt before we actually get to the meeting? She said something to the effect of, "I know you guys are having sex."
Oh, I see.
Connolly's like, get your act together and sit down and just shut up and do this. But originally, she thought that she was going to have to go here and talk about the protests.
Oh yeah, because she said right away.
She's like, no, that's Trooper's job, so that's not my jurisdiction. But I get to shove this in her face because now we know that the mine and Solal are connected. So I think she thought that she was going to get like a oh crap from Kate, but she didn't. It was almost like Kate was expecting it.
I do like how she kind of saved kind of when she said, "Why were you there?" She did kind of, I think, save herself a little bit to say, "Well, it's because of this ongoing investigation, and there was a reason why we were there." I did not like that Liz kind of told her about Otis and kind of told her about it's connected to Salau. I just felt like she was giving her too much information for me.
Right.
Well, yeah, but tell me if I'm wrong, you guys, but Kate is, it seems like a very prominent person in the mining company.
She owns it, I think. I think she owns it.
Yeah. So I almost felt like for me personally, I hold that the mine is probably the biggest thing in this town with regards to economy and all of these things. And so, Liz has an obligation to provide answers to one Connolly as a superior within reason, but then Kate in regards to the role she has. I do think that she gave information. I don't think initially she even wanted to give Otis. I forget how she answered it. She said, we found I forget what the title she used. Like she said, she gave his title first, and then Kate said, "Oh, who? Who is
the engineer.
Like engineer. It was like we have an engineer.
Exactly.
And then we have a witness to this and this, and it's an engineer. And I think Kate says the guy's name, right?
Well, Liz says his name, and then Kate looks like, oh, she knows who exactly potentially. Oh, okay, this person probably could be trouble without saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but which leads us to what happens after this. But yeah, Connolly is really trying to sweep this under the rug because the mine. This is where you get that double-edged sword, because the mine is basically probably 70% of the jobs that are there are for the mine, and 90% of the money that's coming in is from the mine.
Right.
And on the same type, on the other side of the coin, the water is being poisoned by the mine, and births are being stillborn because of the mine. So you've got the extremely good with all this good stuff that the mine does with jobs and money and stuff like that. And then you've got that the mine is actually killing people in the town.
Yep.
So,
what did you guys think about the explanation that Connolly gives in terms of it being a weather event that killed the Salau researchers? I mean, I think
that was a big eye roll in my opinion, because think about it. Any type of it almost plays on that any type of natural they always throw a natural disaster into it to sweep something under the rug.
Weather balloon or whatever, it's them making stuff up. So again, they can sweep it under the rug.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Liz, we know, was not buying this. I think he said it was an avalanche.
Yeah. Like, one of those freak avalanche storms, like a storm that creates this freak avalanche, and it's like, really, that's what killed the Salau guys? So they stripped naked, and then the storm hit, and they died. And and then they go into saying that the guys in Anchorage said that they froze to death, but Liz knows that can't be true.
Oh yeah,
because of what the vet said.
Yeah.
So Connolly's trying to cover it up and make it go away.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And then I remember too, I think he's eventually trying to go for, is it mayor, like a campaign for mayor or something? Yeah. So I can see him trying to just want to sweep it under the rug. Liz did. I did think she did catch Kate a little bit when she kind of said, "Oh, we know you fund telling her we know you fund the Salau researchers," and she talked about, "Oh yeah, we do donations for all types of things," and then she said, "Oh well, no, you specifically are funding this research facility that's giving you your pollution numbers." She seemed taken aback by that, I thought, a little bit, and she said, "Kind of let me look into it," and took the file from Liz. I was upset about that. I don't think she should have gave her the file, but
she should have given the file. I agree with that. But I think even though it was a hiccup, I think Kate's a cool cucumber, and she was able to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she can handle that kind of
100%.
pressure.
Yep.
I don't think Liz shook her enough.
Oh no, yeah, she probably
because of what happens after.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep. And the next one, I mean, I don't know if we were kind of predicting that, but we have Our boy Hank.
Oh yeah, I saw this coming.
Oh wait, no, you guys know. You know what I wanted to do because we forgetting. In that scene.
I'm on pins and needles.
Connolly, right? We forgetting in this scene.
Oh yes.
Yes, Connolly
what happened.
Yes.
Dude,
I didn't want to forget that.
This is the Wheeler case. Yeah. So she knows. So now he knows what happened to the Wheeler case.
Mhm.
And okay, so I want to ask you guys where do you think, no offense, where do you think the wheel is turning here? Because how is Connolly finding out about
That's
this?
what I said.
Oh yes, I think Liz knew right in that minute when he said that. Like, there's like a mole. There's some type of leak because there would be no way possible for him to even have that information.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's no way, and that's where basically all the house of cards just collapsed right on top of Hank.
Yep.
Because there was no other person that could be the mole, that could be the leak.
No. We know it's not Pryor. You know it's Hank.
It's not Pryor because Pryor's loyal to Liz.
And
the other troopers were really just window dressing, so it had to be Hank. Hank's the one that's fully against it.
Yeah. I remember, and in this scene, I was like, oh my god! I kind of was like Liz, just taken aback by that. It's just that was crazy. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, you know what's interesting? I mean, I know we have one more episode here. I honestly don't see Connolly because with him holding this information, what it says is he knows what happened. I don't think he can prove what happened, but I think that even if he could, I don't see him trying to legally have Liz fall down. But I do think he's saying, I know enough where your position might be in jeopardy, or at least.
Yeah, no, this was a threat.
Mm-hmm.
This was a threat to get Liz to fall in line.
Right.
Yep.
And maybe because I think he might have the paperwork to back this up.
Well, we see a little bit later. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he might have the paperwork on this and be able to blackmail her. So now it's like, okay, do I sacrifice my job and solve this case, or do I go ahead and just give in and let him sweep it under the rug?
Yeah, because that's what he wants.
Connolly had this as his trump card. He was, because he was like, no, we're going to do this. Here was the answer, and blah blah blah. And Liz was not stopping. She was a dog with a bone.
Right.
And then Connolly's like, look, completely change the subject. I know what happened in the Wheeler case. And if you don't fall into line, I'm gonna let that out.
Yeah, a warning. And like you said, Connolly knows. Even Kate mentions it. They both know Liz. They know she won't let it go, and they know she's on to it. So basically, drop it. Yeah. Okay, so next scene, you guys, we got. We kind of expected this.
Oh yeah, this was predictable for me. I'm not even shocked by it. This scene didn't catch me off guard at all.
No, this was the I guess the straw that broke the camel's back, though. This is what it was leading toward.
Right.
Because I remember we talked about it a couple episodes ago, where when he was in that search party to go after Clark, and he was like, no, we're killing Clark, shooting on sight. And I'm like, why is he so adamant about killing this guy unless he's trying to cover something up? So you knew, and plus Hank giving the information to Connolly on the Wheeler case, Hank is on the take. So this meeting was meant to happen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that we get more information about this in the next episode, because I think what stood out for me is Hank kind of implied that not implied, he said it, that he's not a killer. And Kate is saying, oh, I didn't say that, even though she is indirectly telling him to take care of it, and that there was money that was given to him before for something, and we figure out a little what that is, at least a piece of it, before the episode ends. But he's exhausted all of those funds, and then more importantly, what he wants is what Liz has, the chief position.
Yeah, no, when this happened, I predicted what was going to happen at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, I
saw
did
it.
too. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So this was this. I was like, okay, this is the beginning of the end.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this was an interesting. Finally, we get them talking, and you're like, okay, now I understand. Fully where Hank's head is at.
Right.
Or Henry to Kate. You could tell they have a interest
Oh, there's
relationship.
a relationship there. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a, I'm not saying there was yum yum involved, but there's definitely a deeper. They're not just. I'm not going to say employer employee. They're more than that.
Yeah, I did kept emphasizing the Henry. And how she was talking to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Caveman said there'll be no more booty calls, sadly, after this. Oh yeah, no, Connolly, no.
Connolly is not checking his oil ever again.
Nope. That's done. That's done. Okay, you guys. Another scene. Okay. I thought somebody says that. Another scene that I thought was quite interesting was the laundromat scene. So again, we saw Navarro had some visions. She's taking the clothes out of the washer, and we see the hair, and she's following that. And then we have Quavik. I think he shows up with a Kenny is the man's name, and he brings back the stone with the spiral.
Yep.
And then we learn about.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. You froze again. Oh yeah, you're like oh my gosh, this is too funny for me. I don't know what's going on.
Used as a after you. Am I back?
You're still
Am I back?
Hold on, give it a minute. Now you're back.
I think what is this? Is crazy.
Got a little max headroom going on.
I know you're like
we like switched positions. We switched turns this time, Kira. Okay, where did I leave off on?
Well, I'll just kind of David. I'll kind of just jump into the most important thing of the scene: the rock, the symbol, what it means in terms of the cave.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, where not to go, like where the ice is fragile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's a risk of a cave in. So my wheels are turning for season 1, right? Because I'm like, okay. So what was the deal with it in season 1? Because they never really do anything with it.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a really interesting scene, and this is where Navarro gets that. Oh, now I know how we can actually get into the tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And didn't they say? Kenny say that they called the caves the night? The caves are the night country, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting too. Caveman said, I wonder if she will get any type of punishment, or is she too insulated by the company?
You mean Kate?
Kate?
Well, Liz.
I don't think Liz is insulated at all.
Maybe Kate.
I think Kate is protected by the company.
Yeah, I think so.
I have my predictions for episode 6.
Oh, you do? Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be interesting. Okay, so the next scene I just did so you guys keep scaring me every time I look at you. I think I'm frozen. Okay, we have the confrontation between Navarro and Liz. So we have Liz has just come back from her meeting with Kate and Connolly, and she's basically saying we kind of have to shut this down. And Navarro's kind of upset, not really letting it go, and Liz kind of stops on her tracks to say, "Well, he knows about the Wheeler case."
Wheeler. Yeah.
Yes. So we need to kind of shut it down, and kind of Navarro saying, "Well, how does he know?" Her saying that it doesn't matter, we got to keep going, and Liz telling her just let it go, like you won't let this Annie K thing drop, and it's costing too much, and we have to just let it rest. And her kind of saying that you carry Annie with you, it's your responsibility kind of solve this case, kind of not let her fade away. And even though you want to shut it down and want to close it up, it's not that easy. You know what I mean? You're gonna still have her kind of haunting you and in your face. That's what my takeaway was. What were you guys' thoughts?
Oh, yeah, I agree. I don't think Navarro, of course, was upset. I think she was taken aback the same way Liz was with regards to Connolly knowing about the Wheeler case, and even asked, how does he know? And that kind of started, that question was, I think, the question that Liz was trying to sit with as well. But I don't think Navarro was angry here. I think that she basically said, you need to carry the weight of what I've been carrying. So if we stop this case right now, it's not because of me and not because I don't want to finish it. It's because of you. So you hold it and see if you're able to do that. You know?
Yeah. David, any thoughts?
Yeah, I have a few thoughts on this because and I don't know if you're going to talk about this, but this leads to Leah's release, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they're like cat and dog. They're just like at each other, and this is where Liz is so mad that she's giving in to Connolly and Kate, that she's kind of taking it out on Navarro.
Yeah.
And then she's getting mad at her. It's like, no, you won't let this go. And this is just like Annie K, blah, blah, blah. So Navarro's like, I've been carrying this the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want me to let this go, then you have to carry it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where if you want me to stop, then I can't carry it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is on you.
Mm-hmm.
But and I think, little does she know, I think Liz has been carrying this too.
Oh,
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Liz has been carrying this as well, and also been carrying the Wheeler case. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever happened with the Wheeler case, which I'm still thinking my prediction there is pretty much right.
Yep.
Then I think that's got to come to a head. But it's at this point that Navarro's like, fine, I'm letting your daughter out because that was a stupid idea. And she opens the thing, and Leah's like, what about Liz? And she's all F Liz. And that's exactly what Kayla said about her girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
To Navarro. Like, what about the girl, F her. And so that's kind of the same parallel there.
Yeah.
But when Kayla leaves, she stops and looks at Liz, and they have a moment there where they just stare at each other and they lock eyes. And Liz, that's another tender moment for Liz, even though she didn't say anything. The look in her eyes was like, I'm sorry that I had to do that. And Kayla's like, it's okay. And that's what I got from that.
That's what I got too. Yeah.
Before they take off. But Navarro was acting out. She's being a little 12-year-old right there. Because no, I don't want to drop the case.
Right.
Yeah.
She definitely did that to spite her, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was she was acting out. She was being a little 12-year-old. She was being petty. And it was like, fine, if you won't let me play with my ball, I'm taking your ball.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, and we all know, like you said, Liz has never dropped the case, and she doesn't want to. I mean, even at the end of the conversation with Connolly, she asks, she tells him, "What's wrong with you? A woman died," and it's like you don't care. So she's just angry from that as well too, because they both want to solve the case, but again, like we said, they're coming against these roadblocks at every turn. Okay. The next scene I thought was pretty interesting. I want to get your thoughts from that because it was interesting. With Hank, kind of reminiscing about his when Peter was a young boy and him having an accident where he fell. I think he was 9. He said he fell through the ice. Peter doesn't remember it, but for Hank, it's a very strong, vivid memory. He talked about having to run ahead of the current and break through the ice to catch him, and you can see that he's there at that incident, and it really takes him there. But do you kind of guys understand why he's telling him that story? I was trying to figure out why at that moment, at this time, he chooses to tell Peter that story. Is it because we know where he's going to choose to do at the end, or what do you guys think?
I think that again, well, at least for me, he's trying to share a memory with Prior with regards to like showing that he cared, like even that action with regards to trying to save him. So there's that piece to it, and I think it's almost trying to show, at least for me, maybe goodness in him. Like he isn't this awful person, even though he has done awful things or is about to embark on a path that's less worthy. Like Pryor would never do any of the things he has done. So I think that's just him trying to let him know something more in depth prior to it all going awry. I don't know. I'm feeling more so like there is deeper meaning there.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of like saying goodbye a little bit. It felt like to me. It was just interested in him, you know.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it was just really interesting. And then, when Peter tries to dig a little bit more, it's kind of like he snapped out of it and just like, oh, family stuff. So to me, it kind of felt like, he was trying to hold on to a memory, a powerful memory for him, and kind of a little bit saying goodbye, it seemed to me, I felt. Let me see, I just got some comments. Caveman said, let's hear your predictions at the end, just for shits and giggles. And then, oh, hey, Corey. Corey said just got home, and I thought I would stop in late and say hi. Hey, Corey. Hope you had a great Valentine's Day. All right. Okay, so the next one, let's see. We have our girl Rose back in the scenario, but we have Navarro. She goes to lay Julia to rest, and this is when we see Rose again, because Rose, she knows the ice, finds a place where she can bury her. And then we see Navarro saying to Julia, I'm going to put you back in the ocean. This is what you seem to have wanted, and kind of laying her to rest. Also in this scene, we kind of see that Navarro kinds of has because we don't know what's going on, her hallucinations, where she's walking, according to Rose, she was walking toward the ocean as well. And it was like she heard something, and Rose having to, when she snapped out of it, I think she was on thin ice and at risk for falling, and Rose kind of having to bring her back in and saying, what was going on? I was trying to call you. But I thought this was a really, really interesting scene, because again, it kind of brought me back to Julia, because could Julia have been hearing the same thing? Is that why she walked out to sea? Is it because she wanted to kind of end the pain, or was someone calling her to sea, like we see in Navarro? Thoughts on this?
I thought that was actually Julia. This is just me. I don't think Navarro truly understands the second sight that she has in the way that Rose does. So I think that she definitely is linked to the dead who have passed on, is still not coming to grasp with it, is unsure of the messages they're trying to convey to her. And in this instance, she did exactly what Julia was doing. So I almost feel, based off what she was doing, laying Julia to rest, and actually being in the same place, if you will, that Julia was, this was probably Julia through her showing her last moments. But again, Navarro not being clearly able to manage these things in the same way I feel Rose can.
Okay.
That's just my thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think, David?
I like that. It's
I like that too.
It's really interesting, because Julia liked to see. So Navarro again calls on Rose to help her. Mm-hmm. And incidentally, I thought I saw Rose in season 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I was wrong.
Oh,
yeah, there was a person named Rose in season 1 that but didn't fit the profile of what Rose was. But I was like, well, that would have been really interesting. But so the whole thing was to put a hole in the ice to get to where she could go into the ocean. So Navarro dumps that, but then she gets called, and she's moving out. I do think that's interesting that it would be Julia. But I also think that there could be a chance that it's whatever called Julia also called.
That's what I was thinking too.
And in much the same way, Navarro doesn't know how to deal with that. She's not fully in control of her second sight.
No.
Like Rose is. Like I said, she's somewhere in between Julia and Rose as far as what she can do and what control she has. But yeah, because I have seen people who have similar gifts that actually it's actually more of a mental illness because they can't control it to the point that it just drives them nuts.
Yeah.
Where there are those that have a firm grip on it that can control it and do not lose sight of reality.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Rose. So, and I think Navarro's like teetering right on the edge of that. So yeah, fortunately Rose is there to like bring her back.
Right.
And okay, lay down flat and come to me.
Yeah.
So she knows how to deal with going around the ice, which tells me that Rose has dealt with that before.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that was an interesting scene. And I don't know what's going to come out of that, but I think there'll be something connected to that in episode 6.
Yeah. Caveman said, I think he is trying to influence his son more to make him feel like he needs to choose him over what is right versus family loyalty.
This was another thing. I didn't actually get a chance to speak on that part, where Hank was telling the story. And yeah, I got that impression as well, to where it seemed like he was kind of laying the foundation of, hey, blood is blood.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I think yes, he could have easily been saying goodbye, knowing, but I think he could also been, hey, I need to lay the seed to get you on my side when the chips come down, because I know it's going to be me versus Liz with you in the middle.
Wow.
If that was the case too, though, I feel as though how flawed is Hank? Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day,
look at he was trying to date. I know he was flawed. There was definitely something wrong with him.
Because I said your son is like the most, and despite you being a father, is the most genuinely straight arrow person it seems like there is. So I wouldn't even have questioned that he wouldn't have done the right thing despite the outcome.
I don't have a clip for this one, but I thought this was interesting. The bathroom scene with Leah and Liz. We know Liz shows up to Kayla's house. Again, Kayla is not happy to see Liz, and she says, I'm not here about Prior. I'm here to see Leah. And again, I think in that episode when Leah was leaving the home originally, I saw some empathy with Kayla towards Liz. And again, I saw it again in terms where she kind of is feeling bad for Liz, and lets her come in. I thought the scene was really, genuine. Liz is trying to extend an olive branch to Leah. You could tell she cares. She sees the bruises. She wants her to come home for New Year's. And you can tell she just really is trying. And I loved at the end of the scene when she was leaving, she kind of told Liz, I haven't given up on you. So she kind of knows that there's, I don't know what the old Liz looks like. We've seen the flashbacks, her being fun, and Leah saying how she used to kind of let her hair down. But I think she's really hoping that person could still be in there, and that she hasn't kind of given up on her. I just thought it was a great little scene. You guys have any thoughts on that?
I agree. I think it's optimism. So I think Liz needed to hear that from Leah. I think it said a lot without Liz responding. And I honestly think it shows that despite Leah's challenges with the way Liz does things, she is hopeful. She's not given up on that. She hasn't lost being hopeful, and she hasn't lost being optimistic that she can do better than what she's doing.
Yeah. Yep. And then just Caveman.
David, do you agree or?
Oh no, yeah, he's flawed. He's the elevator does not go all the way to the top with this guy.
Oh my gosh, flawed, yes.
He's 2 sandwiches short of a picnic. He's he's playing hockey with a warped puck. The gears are stuck in the windmills of a mine. However you want to say it. If I had a penny for his thoughts, I'd get change back. You could go on and on with all these cliches. But the point is, Hank is in this delusion that that he is right.
Oh yeah.
and he is so not right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's unfortunate. But you get this glimmer of hope with Liz and Leah.
Oh yes, you do. Yep.
Where
That relationship could be somehow salvaged. Yeah.
and I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but when the epiphany that Liz has as to who the leak
Mm-hmm.
is told to Pryor, and then that last confrontation with Hank
Mm-hmm.
and Pete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And let me see. I won't take too long on this one, but I just thought that was an interesting clip to see Liz visiting the where they were keeping because in her conversation with Leah was telling her, have you heard about the deaths? And Liz says, oh yeah, the stillborn baby that passed away. And she said, well, there's been 9 stillborn deaths. And this goes back to, again, maybe what the mind is doing in terms of the water being poisoned and we having these stillbirths. And Liz, I just thought that was an interesting scene to have her go, visit the bodies of the babies. Again, just being that empathetic character. I just thought that was
I get that, and and the fact that they can't bury him
for
for
3
like a
months.
few more months, so they're just like sitting there in that storage room.
And it shows too the depths of what she didn't know, like what she was disconnected from.
Yeah, because she's again, she's a cop. She's just trying to go, look, stop messing with the mind, blah blah blah, and but Leah's like, you're only seeing this, and you really need to see this. You need to see everything that's above and below what you're looking at. So yeah, that just gave her just a little bit of a hint, like, hey, there's been 9 stillbirths.
Yeah, 9 stillbirths actually.
And then so yeah, Liz had to go and kind of get that confirmation herself.
Right.
And yeah, that hit her hard. You could tell she was standing there just like, I can't believe this.
Oh
it's
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And like you said, they can't be buried for 3 months. And that guy, his comment was like, well, at least they're together. I just thought that was, ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said the little ones. Oh yeah, Caveman said, hoping her daughter doesn't end up going out trying to get home for New Year's and something happens to her. Oof, I would hate for something to happen to Leah. Okay, you guys. So one of my favorite scenes, because that brings us back to episode 2, I believe it was, in terms of ask the right question, right? Let me see. I think do I have a clip of that one? Let me see.
Oh yeah, so this is basically the scene where Pryor confronts Liz about the Wheeler case, right?
Yes, and but I liked how she's like David says, she knows already kind of who the leak is, and she goes right to Pryor, and says, come with me, and he has him bring his laptop. She knows he's staying with Hank. He asks him what's your password? Is it your birthday? He said no. Is it Darman's birthday? Like the easiest password to crack. And and implying, your dad. I think she said I told you your dad wasn't stupid or like to pay attention.
Not as stupid as he appears to be.
Not as stupid as he appears to be. And then they go back and forth in terms of ask the right question, like in terms of I like that because it brought me back to season episode 2. Do you guys remember when she said you're not asking the right questions?
She did that throughout the series a couple of times, even with Navarro.
Navarro was like, don't give me that ask the right question crap, because she's been through that.
Exactly.
And that dog won't hunt anymore. But yeah, no, this was a
scene.
This is a poignant scene because on the one hand, Liz does not want to look bad in front of Pryor.
Yep.
On the other side of the coin, Pryor does not want to know. He does not want to know the truth, because the truth means that Liz is not as clean as he thinks she is. So he's going to lose respect for her, and he doesn't want to. And she also doesn't want Pryor to lose respect. But at the same time, okay, this truth has to come out. I know you're researching this. Ask the right questions. And then, yeah, this is when this whole thing comes to a head with, your dad's the leak.
Yeah, and she kind of gets on him for digging to keep his incessant need to find answers. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's who Pryor has been since like day one, in terms of we see his investigative skills at play every time he's unearthing a new person, a new lead. And so I wasn't even shocked when he was doing this internal digging, because I even think when he initially asked about the tension between her and Navarro, he didn't fully trust that she was being truthful. So it's just in his nature to want to know the full picture, and wanting to know Liz wholeheartedly, honestly, if you kind of think about it too. But yeah, David was right. He didn't press her. He left it where she left it, and that was it.
Do you think he started researching it after he, when he was like, hey, what's the deal with you and Navarro? And she gave him that thing, and he was like, no, that's kind of BS. I don't think that's right. Do you think that's when he started researching what happened?
I think, I think
he was looking at this way before that?
No, I think it probably was it's been in his mind. So I think that just sparked his interest, because he asked Navarro as well to try to see if her answers were going to be different in terms of that case, and she didn't really give him anything. So I think maybe because of who Pry is, he probably always was trying to dig a little deeper, but wanted to get it from Liz and wasn't happy with her answer. Didn't get it from Navarro and was still doing some digging. Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh, yeah, and he probably, again, this is an assumption, but technically I don't think Pryor would have been digging into it if not for the Salau case, because it reinvigorated the cold case of Annie K. It brought Navarro and Danvers back together, and he saw firsthand the tension between the two. So even initially asking questions, he wasn't getting any answers. And then the Wheeler case is the one that he said, okay, if this is the reason why you guys split, talk to me about what happened. And even the response she gave was, I would kind of be sitting there saying, okay, so the reason you guys aren't talking is because this case went south? Like, really? It's because there's something else that happened here and you're not saying it at all. And so I need to figure it out, if not just for me to know myself what happens.
Yeah. And I love how Pryor's investigation was so thorough, because you saw when he threw Liz for a loop when he asked her the question about the bruises, and he pointed out it was like a light bulb went out.
Yeah, did you know he was left-handed?
Did you know he was left-handed?
Yeah, no, that shocked her. Mm-hmm. Did you know he was left-handed? And she was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That really caught her off guard. She was not expecting that.
Mm-hmm. And then just the attention to detail, how the birthmark that she had and how the pictures were flipped from I think it was right to left, right? Yeah. And then all the bruises were from right to left. And then his wound, Wheeler, was on his right side. And I think that's kind of where they messed it up. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that really took her for a loop. And I like how she ends it in terms of sometimes you have to stop asking questions.
And it also, at least for me, leads me to hold this case can't truly be, I don't think this can be revealed, because I think they also mentioned that the files were destroyed in a flood.
Yeah.
And within reason, a lot of this evidence is kind of washed away. And so honestly, the only two people who truly fully can speak to the events are Navarro and Danvers. But of course, everyone is assuming with the little information they have, we know with certainty it didn't happen the way you both said.
Yeah. And were they washed away in the flood, or did they get rid of it? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then Caveman said, I think Pryor had a lot of...
Oh.
No, I'm frozen?
Oh, no, you're not frozen. I was just teasing.
Oh my God. I was going to say, oh my God, I'm frozen again.
Not again.
I saw Dave like this. Caveman said, I think Pryor had a lot of the information from the company lady and information he found from his son along the way. Company lady and information he found.
I think means Hank.
Oh, Hank.
So I think so. Hank got the information about the Wheeler case from Pryor.
Yeah.
And and we think, did Hank give that directly to Conley, or did Hank give that to Kate and Kate give it to Conley?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, I can see going through Kate.
I think he went
have a rapport.
I think he went through Kate. Mm-hmm. But again, too, you see kind of with Pryor too, the realization that his father, another violation, access his computer, kind of is the leak, in terms of, and how devastated he is with that too, and pissed off, in terms of that violation.
I've never seen him that mad at his dad.
No.
That was because I said in the beginning, I says that's gonna come to a head, and it's gonna seem like Pete's gonna try to punch his dad, or it's gonna lead to almost a fight, and that's what it felt like. Like Pete was about ready to punch him as hard as he could.
And you saw Hank
you just need to get away from me.
Yeah, and Hank taken aback by that as well. And we also want to see too, in terms of later scenes, that Hank in that moment noticed that he kind of Peter was done with him.
Yeah, he blew it. Hank blew it right there. Yeah.
Yep, and that he had kind of lost him in that moment. All right, the next scene, you guys, we have Danvers.
Oh, now you froze.
Getting our boy Otis. I froze.
Now you're back. You're back now.
You're back now.
I'm dead.
Glasses.
I'm dead, you guys.
Oh yeah, no, you're back now.
You're back now. You only froze for a couple seconds, but it was funny.
It was funny to me. Yes.
I'm dead, you guys.
Oh yeah. So this scene, yeah.
Karen and I both go at the same time.
And that's all I see in my frozen state is just you guys like this. Oh, Kayla said you said that he washed it away with the floods. Sorry, struck me as funny. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't think there was no flood either. No, they got rid of that evidence.
I'm sure there was a flood, but they probably went whoops and threw it in the water.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not something you want to keep around. That's like,
No.
I want to just keep this gun, even though I shot this guy with it. I'm just going to keep it around the house. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. No.
No, that's not a good idea.
Oh, no. All right, you guys, we're coming to our final 2 clips. Okay, so the next we see in the next scene, Danvers goes to the lighthouse. She gets Otis. She says, I need your help. We knew it. We said we predicted it. He wants his drugs, and we knew that to get what she needed, Liz was going to have to give him his drug of choice to have her help him. So we have Otis pointing out to her kind of the entrance to the map, to the caves, where you have to go, which he reveals is the highest point of the cave, so you don't have the risk of a cave-in. We have him leave. He does his thing in the bathroom where he's taking his drugs kind of to get right, and then kind of all mayhem ensues at this point.
Yep.
So it's just a lot.
So first, the lead into that is that Danvers has Pete stay in the guest house behind her place.
Yes.
So
that's important.
That puts him in proximity of everything that's going on here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And Reed's in the house. What is up, Reed?
Oh, hi. Oh, I see right here. Okay, yep. Hey, all, have not seen the show, but interested now after listening to y'all talk about it. Oh,
great. Definitely jump in.
Thanks. I've been enjoying it thus far. Yes.
Yeah, this has been fun. This has been a fun season.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we know in this scenario, while we have Otis in the bathroom, who shows up, of course, we kind of predicted that because he's been following her throughout the episode. In the latter part of the episode is Hank, who's trying to figure out where Otis is. So he shows up at Liz's house.
He was there.
Yeah. Showing
he
up
knew
at
exactly. Yeah, he followed her the whole time. He knew exactly where Otis was, even though he was like, "Oh, is he here?" I had no idea. Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. And then he says, the bogus story. Connolly is asking him to bring him in. So, where is he? I thought it was interesting too, in terms of did you guys think Liz knew he was following her or no?
I think that Liz didn't initially. I don't think she knew that he was following her because, again, I think the revelation of him coming to her home struck a chord with her that something is off and he's involved. I think that she knew something was off with him based off of just seeing him in this brief exchange at the police department. But I don't think she knew he was following her. I think she knew something was wrong when he showed up in her house and specifically said Connolly told him to bring him in. Because I just looked at that and say that's the stupidest thing you could say to her. Connolly would call Liz directly and tell her what to do.
Yeah, and then so Otis comes out. He sees kind of some commotion going on. He's kind of like, I'm out of here, right? Heading to the door. Hank tells him, you're not going anywhere. We kind of see Hank ends up shooting Otis twice out. Just takes him completely out.
Yeah, he's done.
Yep, he's done. And kind of thrown Liz for a loop in terms of what's going on. And Hank basically tells her, she can't let stuff rest. She's the cause of him losing her son, and that she's just a hindrance, always a problem, and just can't let things die. Like David said, luckily we know that Pryor has been staying in the shack. He just moved there, so of course he hears the shots. He comes in, and he has that gun drawn on Hank. And I thought that was kind of wow. And you see Liz.
That didn't shock me at all.
Yeah, but you see Liz. Liz was kind of taken aback by that because Liz doesn't want him to be in that situation.
Yeah, and I think Liz knows too that he can't take this back. Like he's gonna do the right thing because just that's his nature, but he would ultimately be killing his father. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost just like Liz is saying no, 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 because this is going to stay with Pryor forever. Like he can't take this back, even though it would be the right thing to do, and he knows it.
Yeah, and she's kind of trying. She wants to shield him from that. But we know with Hank,
trying to get him to not do that. And you notice Hank is the whole time trying to manipulate Pete again.
Yep.
Blood is blood. Blood is more important than job and blah blah blah. You want to be on my side with this, son. Blah and Pete was steadfast. He's like, no, and he didn't shoot him until
he turned that gun.
Hank lifted the gun toward
Liz.
Yeah. And it was like, I can't let you do that. And then plow side of the head. Okay, but this is the key here. So this was a monumental event, but now we're parallel to the Wheeler case.
That's what I said. Yes, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Because now Pete's got to cover it up. Pete's got to clean up the mess.
Yeah.
And then Liz and Navarro are going to cover it.
I thought that was so yeah, especially too now that I see the ending.
Yeah.
I froze.
No.
It's real. This was really well written.
Yes.
How they put this in place.
Yeah, I said that, David. Yeah. I said when I saw
I knew. Yeah. I knew that it was going to come. I knew that Hank and Pete were going to have a fight. I was hoping it wasn't going to end in bullets, but it did. So yeah, but I knew that Pete was going to finally stand up for what was right. Be it for himself or for Liz, and then go against Hank. And yeah, so it ended unfortunately in him killing his own father, which Luke Skywalker couldn't even do. So kudos to Pryor for being that steadfast and on the job. Made the right decision. But yeah, that's something he's going to have to live with. And that he really was like, I can clean this up. And Liz is like, I don't want you to be alone.
Yeah. And go ahead, Kara.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, ultimately I forget like all of the words that were used between Navarro and Liz, but for Pryor, he knew that they wouldn't be believed. Like, I think he even noted that Connolly is going to, like, he kind of linked the Wheeler case, like, this, you're not going to be able to cover this up. Like, Liz seemed to want to do the right thing. We got to call this in. And then Navarro stated that, there's no way they're going to be able to cover this up because Connolly knows about the Wheeler case and that kid's going down. So it's almost just like I think Liz instinctively wouldn't want Pryor to be involved in a cover-up, but does know that Connolly could actually seek to blame someone, and Pryor would be the easiest target, if not Liz and Navarro. So it's almost like they had no choice ultimately but to do it, regardless of if they didn't want to do it. That's how I felt.
Yeah, and it was just interesting too, like David said too, to see that parallel in terms of now we have another cover up, and Liz not wanting Pryor to be in the same situation, but then Pryor realizing that, like he said to her, "This is mine. This is mine. I have to kind of handle this." So yeah, powerful scene, powerful scene. I really love how they did that. Yeah, and then we kind of have it fade away to Pryor's going to do the cleanup, and we have Liz and Evangeline. They're heading out in the storm to the caves, and it kind of ends there. So that was an episode. Yeah,
and Rose comes into play here too, because Rose knows how to clean everything up. Tell Rose to take you to, I think she said, I forget the woman's name.
Where Julia is.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Rose is going to help him dispose of the bodies. Yeah.
Yeah, call Rose. Rose knows what to do.
Exactly.
I'm like, okay, Rose is important.
Oh, yeah.
So important, yeah.
Oh, but that makes me wonder, was Rose involved with the Wheeler cover-up?
Possibly.
Ooh, who knows? But yeah, this we predicted it. We said the next 2 episodes are really going to be fast paced. We're going to really start answering some questions. So this I really enjoyed this episode. I'm hoping for the last episode, like you said, David, we have an hour and a half, because I don't really see how we're going to do everything in an hour.
All in 1 hour, but yeah, I hope it goes a little bit longer. But we'll find out on Sunday.
Yep.
But overall, everyone enjoyed this episode.
Oh yeah, loved it. Yeah,
it was good. They answered a lot of the questions. So yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yep.
All right. So we will be back, you guys, for the final episode. Woo-hoo. Final episode airs this Sunday, you guys. So we'll see. K-Man said I was shocked that he was able to go through with it. Oh yeah. I mean,
it seemed he was I wasn't shocked at all. I thought he was he was reserved. He was like, I know I'm going to have to kill him. I know I'm going to have to do it unless he drops his gun. And so, yeah, it was, I don't think Pete really hesitated. I think he absolutely, was like, yep, I'm going to have to take you out. And it's just, that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah. Hesitation could have resulted, or would have resulted in Liz being injured.
Yep. And he's just steadfast. That's one character who always chooses to do kind of.
No, he chooses right every time. And he doesn't hesitate. He never really has a doubt. The only doubts he has is in himself.
Yep. Right. Yep. And agreed, Corey. This season is going fast. Yep. One more episode. Yep. So we're going to be back, you guys. We'll see how this finale wraps up. We're excited, Yep. So we'll hope to see you guys next Wednesday, right, for the final episode. Yes. So thank you, everybody, for joining us, especially on Valentine's Day. We appreciate it, you guys. Yes, and I hope everyone had a very happy Valentine's Day. All right, everyone. So we're going to wrap it up.
Yep.
Bye,
everybody.
Bye.